Hello everybody, my name is CulBlu and I'm bringing out this video of me talking about some board game stuff, and as you saw the title of the video, this is my year 2025 review. All the cool kids are doing it, so I decided, hey, why not just jump on that cool kid train and just do all the things the cool kids are doing. So essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to be going through my games here using my board game stats app and just kind of going over games that I've played for year 2025, and then I'll go through a list of games that I've acquired 2025 that are new to me, and then kind of get some commentary on those. So kind of like a two-part video, but we'll throw it all into one. That way we can just have one nice long video to run in the background while you're doing your chores or your work or something. So let me go ahead and start our background music here, because you know I love my background music. And we'll switch our camera over to our tablet here. And just kind of starting off here on the insights, as you can see over here, right over there, I played only 11% of my board games, so not the biggest, brightest showing. I am going to make a stronger intent. I'm going to make a stronger commitment, not commitment, stronger attempt. There you go. I'm going to make a stronger attempt this year to try and play the games that I get, because I feel like last year especially I bought a lot of games and I didn't play a lot of them. Of course, 11% of my own base games that I played, that's a little bit of a hard one because I have a lot of games. I don't know my exact collection total, but I have a lot of board games. We can click over here to see. According to this, I have... Oh, this is filtered, right? Never mind. All right, we can't win them all. I have a lot of board games. That's all you need to know. The filter is on there because I was going to go over there for talking about games that are new to me for this year. So moving through though, I have a lot of games, so it's going to be nearly impossible for me to play every single one of them. But I did play 58 different games according to up here. According to over there, I did play 58 whole different games. And that makes me feel pretty happy. I think a good number of those were new to me this year, but we'll see once we get to the games that I played that were new to me this year. So continuing on, we have just kind of my playthroughs. As you can see, my H index is at 9 currently. So my H index right over there is at 9, which means that I played at least 9 of my games 9 different times. And I feel pretty proud of that. But as you can see, we have some pretty high marks coming in here for Railroad Tiles, Pirates of Maricopa. Those two I played a ton of. I played a lot of Pirates of Maricopa on Board Game Arena. So you'll see a lot of my plays came from there. Well, I guess I can't really show it unless I click over, but I do have a lot of games of Pirates of Maricopa being played. Was a really fun time, and I enjoyed everything about it. I think it's better as a digital game than it is a physical, because physical is it's a little tedious, and if somebody just does a rush strat where you try to rush to the end, it won't feel as satisfying when playing physically, whereas playing digitally, you have a little bit more leeway. And then of course, going back to Railroad Tiles, this one does include should include all of my plays, and as you can see, one of the things I want to point out right there, and I feel pretty proud of that. Look at that. Per play, 46 cents per play. That's mainly because that's just counting the base game, it's not counting all the expansions, but I had played the game quite a bit, and I was able to get a lot of good value out of it, and I do feel pretty proud of kind of the video series that I made last year. I do want to try to finish this series because I was doing a Worlds plus other expansions. But essentially for this one, I played the base game a lot, I played the expansions a lot, and I actually went through a whole period to where I wanted to play all the expansions at least 3 times before finally doing like a live stream playthrough and all that stuff. So that's the reason why that play is so high at 70. It was 70 plays right there, right over there. 70 plays, look at that. All right, moving on to our next section, we have Revive. Revive is one that I kind of enjoyed a lot. I played it a lot more on Board Game Arena than I did in person. I played it like maybe 2 or 3 times in person. It's very fiddly, and I'm okay with playing fiddly games, but also it just was more fiddly than I wanted it to be. So therefore, I didn't enjoy it nearly as much as I did when I playing in person than when I did playing online. And also playing online, you can undo a lot, and that was really fun. So me and 2 or 3 of my friends, we got really into just playing that game a lot. So we played like a number of games, like maybe 7 or 8 together. But that's where my playthroughs of that one ended up so high. Next Station London, just a happy little game to go and just throw on Board Game Arena, do some solo playthroughs. Every once in a while, face your friends, face your partners, and face your family, and have a lot of fun just doing the whole flip and right. So Next Station London, not much to say about that one. Core Discovery, this one's new to me for this year, and this one I did enjoy a lot. Out of all the games that are new to me that I've played a lot of, this one's definitely the one I think is very high on that list of like, I feel like this one is exactly where it should be. Not to discourage or not to disparage Pirates of Maricopa, not to discourage or not to disparage Railroad Tiles, but I think Core Discovery is definitely my favorite of the ones that we talked about so far. I liked it a lot. I enjoyed everything about it. The only thing I didn't like was the whole kind of historical angle, which if you watch my review, I talked about it a little bit more extensively. So I'm not going to rehash it here, but it's just like, I feel like I should have done a little bit more of the history of what's going on. But other than that, a lot of variety, a lot of puzzles. One of the biggest fears that I hear people talk about with this one is that you might run out of things to do with the game, because it only has 20 maps in the base game. Well, only is a misnomer there, but it has 20 maps in the base game. Those 20 maps, yes, you can get to know the information as you play, but those 20 maps are very, very, very extensive with value. And what I'm trying to say is that even if you play the same, if you as long as you don't play the same map back to back to back to back, you're not going to remember everything. So therefore, there's a lot of variety. There's a lot of value that you're going to get with the game, even if you just get the base game. But there's 5 expansions for this one, 4 expansions for this one, and there's a lot of map packs that they release. So I think Off the Page Games did a fantastic job with this one. A lot of variety. Can't recommend that one enough. Core Discovery is a pretty good one. Next one's Beacon Patrol. Oh, Beacon Patrol. I love Beacon Patrol. Man, this game is it's so silly how like this game is like very basic map building, kind of tiling, map building situation. I really enjoy my playthrough of this one. I do feel a little bit discouraged sometimes introducing to some of my friends and some of my family members, because it is a little bit more involved than it seems. But to me, mechanically, it's very simple, straightforward. You just kind of flip your tile, put your stuff down, and then move your boat. And you're all trying to collectively build a map. So it's like a nice little cozy co-op, build the map out situation, trying to help each other out. I like this one a lot. I get that it's maybe a little bit more rules involved than it might seem, but I would characterize this personally as a game that's like simple rules but expansive strategy, and that could be a turnoff for some people. But I liked it a lot, and actually played it solo a lot here, and introduced it to a number of people. Arydia, The Paths We Dare Tread. This one, unfortunately, only sat at 10 plays. And I say unfortunate because the 9.5 rating that I gave it over here, I do still stand by that 9.5 rating. Actually, I lied. I stand by a 9 rating out of 10. I think that this game is one that is very fun. And the more you can play this in one block, the better. And what I mean by that is, like, if you spend like 2 months playing through your campaign of this, and then you finish your campaign in 2 months, that's great. You'll have a fun time. You'll love it a lot. The game shows some signs of wear and tear for me personally, because I like to just kind of explore everything. So I'm kind of like doing every quest and every mission, which is definitely not the way to play this game. Do not play this game that way. It will become dry very fast. That's not to say that there's not a lot of variety, because I'm still enjoying myself. But it also means that I ended up in periods of like, all right, I want to pause on this game for like maybe 2 or 3 months and then come back. And that's where the problem comes in. When you play this game for like, a week, and then you stop playing for like 2 or 3 months, and then you come back, it's very hard sometimes to drop back in and get right back into the thick of things, because you have to kind of reorient yourself for what you were doing, figure out where your quests were, figure out where your hints were, and it becomes a bear of a situation. So the more you can play this game together in a cluster, the better. And I would make the argument, if you spend like more than 2 or 3 weeks, if you spend more than 2 weeks away from this game, it becomes harder to kind of justify the experience, because it just dampens with you trying to figure out or remember what you were trying to do. Either that or take really good notes. So all that goes a long way to say I enjoy the Arydia. I enjoy the experience. I do feel like they accomplished their goal of kind of putting a RPG, a full role-playing system in a box with no DM. That's really fun. River Valley Glassworks is another one, just like Beacon Patrol, that it kind of fits into that niche of like very simple set of rules. It can get very complex as you go along, for sure, but it's one that I've definitely introduced to my family. I play this with my niece, I play this with my nephew, I play this with my mom, I play this with my stepfather. We all enjoyed it. It was really fun. Just brought in the whole family and played it. Played with my brother, played with my sister-in-law, and we all enjoyed ourselves with this one. So this is a really good game. You're essentially trying to fill out your grid and get things inside of a certain order, so you can get the most points, and then you score points based on completed rows and also on your 2 tallest columns. And there's a good mix of like why you would want to go for one over the other. But overall, all the playthroughs I had of this, the scores have been not like super clustered up close, but the scores have been competitive. And I think this is really good. That's a really good sign, because you're talking about somebody who's like me, who's played the game a lot, versus my friends and family members who maybe not played a lot. And also, we did play this a lot on Bear's live stream for Friendly Neighborhood Gamer, because we live stream together. So check him out, twitch.tv/FNG_RaleighnC if you want to check him out there, and check me out there too. All right, next one is, skipped one. Sorry, next one is Come Sail Away. So Come Sail Away is one that I also enjoyed. I just want to point because I haven't pointed in a while. But this one's one that I've also enjoyed. Sorry, I just want to use my little green screen that took all that time setting up. And this one is essentially Mancala style. You're trying to put your people down. It's a really interesting puzzle. Every time I play this, I always want to not have people be disgruntled or upset. So therefore, I always end up in situations where I end up with not using some of the abilities to the fullest, to my most advantageous, if you will. But Come Sail Away is one that I think is really good. I think that this game is a lot more complex than it seems. And I know with Beacon Patrol and River Valley Glassworks, I was saying that those games are like simple rules but complex strategy. But I think this one's actually way more complex than what it seems like on the surface, because the rules are straightforward, but the reasoning why you would want to do one thing versus another ends up being very complex. And AP analysis paralysis is a big issue with this one. I like playing this one solo. I play with some of my friends, and it never fails. There's always one person that's like done with their turn that round, like maybe 2 or 3 minutes faster than everybody else, and then you end up in the situation to where they're on round 4 and you're actually all on round 3, and then you end up with some desync issues. So sometimes it's hard to kind of rein in those players and also play at the same time. But Come Sail Away is one that I do enjoy. I do think it's a great puzzle. I did enjoy my experience with it, and I do think it's worth getting, and it definitely was deserving of those 10 playthroughs. Look at that, 10 playthroughs. Sorry, I didn't mean to scare people with my hand there. Moving on, the last few that we're talking about, Vantage. I played Vantage a number of times solo and a number of times with friends. I think Vantage is a very, very interesting game in an interesting situation in an interesting time. We in 2024, 2025, I would say 2023, 2024, 2025 was kind of the year of like everybody's doing a campaign. There's always a campaign game of this, a campaign game of that. You had your Tainted Grails, you had your Arydias, you had your Ishvan Guard, you had your ISS Vanguards. You had a lot of campaign games that were demanding a lot of your time, and Vantage, I think, came out towards the tail end of that. I'm hoping that 2026 and forward won't be as aggressive on the campaign front, but it probably will be. But Vantage kind of came out in a time period towards a lot of different campaign games, and its selling point that sold me, and it still sells me, is that it's not a campaign game. It feels like a campaign game, but it's a one-shot, and I appreciate that greatly. I know some people are feeling a little bit squicked on the whole experience about how there's not really like hard and set rules on how to win, because spoiler alert for this game, you can kind of just keep playing forever if you want to, or you can just stop whenever you feel like it, because the win conditions are adjustable to your liking. And for some people that rubs them the wrong way, and I understand, I empathize, but for the most part, I think Vantage was a really great one, and I did enjoy this one greatly. So 7 playthroughs, 8 out of 10. I think I'll drop that to 7.5, but 8 out of 10 sounds about right. Next one's gonna be Fields of Arle. Fields of Arle, I think, definitely made it into, actually, going back here, I think of these games here, I think Arydia, Revive, Vantage, Fields of Arle. Yeah, I think those ones made it into my top list that I did. I did a video on like my top board game list, top 20-ish games or something, and I think those 4 that I just named were in there. I can't speak for anything else. I don't remember off the top of my head. Anyway, moving on to Fields of Arle. Fields of Arle definitely deserved its place in my enjoyment sphere, if you will. Because it's a great puzzle of a game. It is a 2 to 3 player game, 3 players if you get the expansion. But I think it's, for me, it worked really well as a solo game. I do play a lot of solo games, and I think the 8 out of 10 I gave it is the 8 out of 10 that it deserves. But it is one that I also enjoy playing with my partner. I also enjoy playing with my friends, and it was an enjoyable experience overall. The puzzle is pretty deep enough. So the puzzle is deep enough to where it feels like you are doing a lot, and a lot is happening, and I appreciate that greatly. When like I'm pulling 20 levers and 19 things are happening, I'm happy. The problem that I have with some games like Syncoria is one I'll call out specifically, is sometimes it feels like, at least on my first full playthrough of that one, I've done some half solo playthroughs, so I can't really speak to full about Sankori. But with Sankori, I feel like I pulled like 15 levers and 3 things happened, and well, I won't say 3. I pulled 15 levers and 8 things happened. Whereas SETI, another board game that I have a very hard time liking SETI, Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, or yeah, SETI, Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence. That's what it stands for, right? Yeah, sure. We'll go with it. But I have a hard time liking SETI because I feel like SETI, I pulled 25 levers and 2 things happened, and that was not enjoyable. But Sankori I enjoyed more than SETI, but I enjoyed Fields of Arle more than Sankori, mainly because I felt like I was actually accomplishing stuff. So this one was a great experience for me overall. I enjoyed this one greatly. That was Fields of Arle there. That one sits at 7 plays, and I enjoyed all 7 of them. Next is Great Western Trail. This one this one showed up at the very end. I did not get this game. I didn't acquire this game till the tail end. I got it as a gift for my birthday, for my partner, for my lovely partner. And I played a lot of this game, mostly because I played on Board Game Arena, and then I also played a half game solo in person. But I'm excited to try to introduce this to my friends. I'm really looking forward to 2026 of hitting this one, hitting the table, doing a solo playthrough, doing a review. But I'm enjoying my experience so much with Great Western Trail. The main claim to fame for this one is that I feel like it's both simultaneously a quick and long game at the same time, because the turns happen quickly. From turn to turn, you just kind of move your person along the trail, and then you kind of do the action there, and then that's it. Your turn's over, next person goes, they do the same thing. So I think the way that the game's kind of divided up, or the tempo of the game, I should say, is such that the game feels fast, but it's also a long game, because this game takes about two hours-ish to finish a full game of it. But I still enjoy the experience greatly. So I think Great Western Trail, I'm excited I got into it now. I missed the first edition, but I played the second edition. I like it, and I'm looking forward to exploring the other ones. Great Western Trail El Paso, Great Western Trail Argentina, Great Western Trail New Zealand, and especially one of those is good for solo. I think Argentina was the good one for solo. Don't quote me on that, but we'll move on. The last one to talk about here on the list is Wraith and the Giants. I'm kind of surprised that this one had this many plays, but yeah, that makes sense. This one's a pretty fun one. Wraith and the Giants is basically what I wanted Leviathan Wilds to be. And to clarify, I think Leviathan Wilds is also what I want Leviathan Wilds to be, but I think Wraith and the Giants does it better, does it more efficiently, whereas Leviathan Wilds takes a little bit more of a ramp up to kind of get to the fun part of the game, in my opinion. But Wraith and the Giants, I think, is a really great game. The system of kind of this game, you're playing a Wraith, and you're trying to fight giants, and you're trying to stop the giants from destroying the town. So you're not trying to kill them, but you're trying to just uncorrupt them. Similar concept to what you have in Leviathan Wilds. And in Wraith and the Giants, one of the things that I enjoyed the most about this game was the simple fact that you had this system where when you played cards, you get symbols, and those symbols will stack from round to round. So the longer you play the game, the more the better you'll get at certain attacks or certain symbols, and the more of those symbols you have, they'll trigger other effects. So for instance, you have like an attack symbol, and on your first turn you'll play 1 attack symbol, and it'll say do an attack equal to the number of attack symbols, so you do 1 attack. And then by the time you get to like turn 10, you'll have, let's say you had 7 attack symbols, and you play a card that says do your attack symbols twice, so you're doing 14 damage right there with just that. And that just feels so good. Like that power up, that power growth feels nice in this game. So I appreciate it greatly. This one I enjoyed a lot. And like I said, I kind of wanted Leviathan Wilds to kind of be there. And Leviathan Wilds is not too far down on the list. You can see I played it 3 times, but I think Wraith and the Giants, in my opinion, is a better version of Leviathan Wilds. Although Leviathan Wilds has a lot of variety. So the more I explore it, the more I'm kind of, skewing towards Leviathan Wilds, slowly but surely. But I think Wraith and the Giants is a great one. Also, Leviathan Wilds can play multiplayer. Leviathan Wilds is a solo only experience. Sorry, I just took a sip of water there. All right, so that's going to be just my 2025 review there, or in a review talking about just the top games here, the ones that I played 5 or more times, because I feel like I should be able to talk a lot more about those. Now let's go over into my games and just look at the ones that I've acquired for this year. So I have my filter on. I have my filter on. And my filter should be on games that I acquired last year, so 2025. And we'll bring in game type, and we'll keep it there. So I have 69 games, nice. 69 games that I've acquired last year. and this is including games and expansions. As you can see, I kind of went all in on the 20 strong series. So I have all those there, the 20 strong, all the ones I have out currently. I think Rose is out or is coming out, or actually no, I think Tanglewood Rose is out. So I'm gonna go get that one, and then I think Cloudspire is gonna be coming out soon. So I'm looking forward to that one because Cloudspire is kind of the one that I really want to play. Moving on, some of the other big call outs here would also be, yep, there's Core Discovery, all my Core Discovery stuff right there. Look at that, nice shining, happy shiny board game right there. Oh yeah, Clans Caledonia Industria. So this one's an interesting one to talk about because I already had Clans Caledonia. I have a lot of playthroughs of Clans Caledonia, and actually if I just go into this, oh no, okay, well. Sorry, I have to go back and to find Clans Caledonia, but I have a lot of playthroughs of Clans Caledonia. I don't think I have like a billion playthroughs, but I have a lot of them. And I'm looking forward to playing the expansion, especially knowing that it's modular. So there's different modular parts, bits and pieces. And just knowing that makes me very excited to play it. I just had to kind of get my group together so we can sit down and play it. But we'll get there eventually. D-Day at Omaha Beach. I'm still committed to doing a full playthrough of it. I have not done it yet, but I'm still committed to doing so. Oops. And then Dead Cells, I might end up getting rid of that one. That one's been, I did a playthrough on Board Game Arena. It wasn't great. So we'll see if I end up, I'll give it a few more chances because I kind of like it, like the box of Dead Cells sitting right next to the box of Slay the Spire, the board game. But yeah, we'll see if Dead Cells stays in my collection is what I'm trying to say. It was okay. It was okay. It was all right. Dwarf Romantic Sakura, I'm definitely gonna be playing that one with my friend here. Eventually because he likes that. Actually his wife likes that one a lot, so we all might get together and just play that for the stream. Speaking of my friend Bear got me Fort in Agent Avenue for my birthday, so I got those two there. And I heard really good things about Fort. I did enjoy Agent Avenue. Bear and we did a playthrough of this one, so we did 3 playthroughs. We did 2 basic playthroughs and 1 advanced playthrough. I did enjoy this one greatly. It was very fun for a 2-player game. One of the things that I felt was missing for Agent Avenue was that I felt like Agent Avenue should have had like another thing available. But I was pleased to learn afterwards that Agent Avenue has an expansion. I don't know what the expansion does, but I was pleased to know that it has an expansion. And I think I gave it a 6.5, which, yeah, 6.5 is about where I will sit at it. Sit on the scoring of it, so that sounds about right. But with the expansion to kind of give another mechanic, it might make the game a little more interesting for me. Civolution is sitting here with no plays. That's not true. I do. Oh, okay, calm down. I do have a playthrough of Civolution. Well, not a full playthrough, but I played a half solo game, I should say. And I enjoyed my experience a lot with that one. I really want to do like a little bit more to explore more and kind of see how it goes. Civolution's it's very fun. The explanation I heard from people was that it's a very wide game, but it doesn't go very deep. As in, there's a nice little sprawling technology tree that can kind of give you a lot of different things to do, but they don't go that deep as far as like you can do this thing at a super efficient level. And I really like the way that the action selection goes, although it's frustrating. The action selection goes in Civolutions that you roll your dice, and they'll allow you to, or sorry, you'll use 2 of them essentially to activate certain things. And you have some dice mitigation stuff you can do to like make the things a little bit more in your favor. But I do like that system because it feels nice to like do the combination, and sometimes you get like the perfect roll, sometimes you get like the worst roll. You got to make the best of it. And overall, I'm looking forward to exploring Civolution more in 2026. Continuing on, I'm looking at the list. I don't see anything as yeah, Helixon Chronicles. I'm definitely gonna do a playthrough of this one. I enjoyed my experience with the deck building for this one. I don't know how I feel about it yet, but I enjoyed my experience so far. So this one was a little bit rough for me to learn how to play the rules because the rule book was a little, it was complete, but it was jumping around a little bit more than I would want it to for me personally. And I feel like that's how people feel about watching my videos, but you know what? I understand. I accept the criticism. But this one's essentially you are trying to like just prevent devastation from coming to the different towns that you have, and you're trying to defeat what's called the presence before the round's over or before the game's over, and the game usually lasts 4 rounds. And it's excuse me, it has been an enjoyable experience. It's cooperative, fully cooperative, kind of a pandemic-esque game, if you will, where you're trying to put out different fires all over the place and then try to, you know, fight the big bad. I did enjoy my experience with Helixon Chronicles. It is one that, as you can see here, I got my playthroughs in. It is one that I think I'm gonna look forward to trying to do the campaign playthrough of. I'm not fully committing to it, but it's on the list. Continuing on, Newsfjord. Newsfjord. I did a playthrough of this one, and I did a campaign playthrough, and I released my playthrough video. I had to redo my campaign playthrough though. It's very sad because I got a rule wrong, and thankfully I think the designers commented on the video on Board Game Geek, let me know kind of my rules incorrections there, and they called it on both videos, so thank you very much for that. But with that said, this one has been very fun. Newsfjord, for those who don't know, is another game by Uwe Rosenberg, and Uwe Rosenberg basically has Fields of Arle, and this one that are in my list of games that did I get Fields of Arle this year? Second. I did. I got Fields of Arle in October. Wow, that doesn't sound right. I mean, clearly that's when I got it, October 11th. And then I got Newsfjord. Interesting. Oh, that's my last play. I see. Let me change my filter here. Hold on, something's up. Sorry, I'm gonna keep what I have here. Yeah, acquisition date last year, so this is still correct. I just want to see when I acquired the game. I guess I have this wrong. Acquisition date. That's what I wanted. All right, okay, there we go. That makes more sense. Yeah, Newsfjord I got recently. I knew I got it this year, but I knew it wasn't January. Yeah, December 2020. So I got it towards the end of the year. Man, that really messed up my stuff, didn't it? My little order there. And Newsfjord I thought I got towards the beginning of the year, or Fields of Arle. Where are we at? Yeah, Fields of Arle I got in June. Okay. Well, the more you know. I've enjoyed that one. That one's pretty fun though. Sorry, continuing on, let me go back into the list. Since I changed the entire order, let me see if there's anything to call out here in this chaotic video so far. Nothing. Oh, Arkham Travel Guide. So Arkham Travel Guide, I've done a playthrough with Bear on his channel. I think the game is maybe more enjoyable than what Bear feels. I think if I had to give this a rating right now, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Mostly because I think as a roll and write or a flip and write or whatever, just a roll and write. I think I like what it's trying to do. I just think that the components are really bad for the game, and I also think it was a little bit hectic trying to learn and play the game on live stream with 4 people at the same time. So we had to learn it enough so we can teach it at the same time. So I think that led to some frustrations with the game. I can easily see this one going up to like a 7.5 for me though. But Arkham Travel Guide essentially is you have your board, you're trying to write out different things, and you're trying to follow whatever the rules. There's 2 versions. There's Innsmouth, and then there's oh my gosh, there's Innsmouth, and then there is Arkham. I don't know. There's 2 versions of it, and I think that if they just made their components good, I would feel much better about playing the game. But ultimately, it was a very frustrating experience for us. So I think that's why we kind of had not as great of a time. I'm willing to revisit it though. I am willing to revisit. Bear's not. Railroad Tiles, we got all the expansions there. As I mentioned before, I got it last year, 2025 in September. I was able to get it from my friendly local game store, get all the expansions and everything. I felt pretty good. Moving on, we have D-Day at Omaha Beach. Like I said, I'm still committed to doing a playthrough. Shackleton Base, I keep forgetting I have this game. I've heard really good things about this game. And let me take a sip of water here. Yeah, I keep hearing really good things about this game. I keep forgetting I have it, and somebody said that this game is a really great solo experience, so I'm gonna finally dive into this one this year. I think I got this game around the same time that I got SETI, and I don't know if SETI's gonna be on this list. I think it'll be on last year's list, but oh no, it is. It's right here. I got rid of SETI. I did not like SETI. SETI was not good for me. It was not enjoyable for me. For those who like SETI, I'm happy for you, but it was not good for me. But I got SETI instead of Shackleton Base, and then I went back and got Shackleton Base eventually. Excuse me. So that's kind of how all that happened there. Stellar Horizons 2, I'm going to do a playthrough of that one eventually. I really want to try to get a group of like 3 or 4 so we can try to do like a full 8-hour campaign playthrough, but I don't know how it's going to work. We'll see if we can organize and coordinate that one day. But that is going to be one that I was excited for last year. I didn't get as much time to play it, or I didn't play it as much as I wanted it to, I should say, last year, but I'm definitely going to try to make an effort to play it this year. So Stellar Horizons 2, definitely on the list there. Moving on, Labyrinth is a game that I got to kind of play with my parents, my dad and my stepfather. We're military. I was trying to see if I was going to see if I can try to play it with them individually, just 1v1. But I don't know how that will work with them. They're ex-military, sorry, retired military, I should say. But you know, board games about military things, it probably won't be too cozy. But that's the reason why that's on the list here. I got it this year or last year, and haven't had a chance to play it, sadly. Unstoppable. Unstoppable is a great game. I think Unstoppable is a great game. I don't know if I talked about this in this video because this is take number 8 because I kept messing up earlier. But Unstoppable is a game that I enjoy. I do not like touching cards that are unsleeved though. So therefore, I will probably not play it a lot. But I've definitely enjoyed my playthroughs of it. I love the system, what it's doing. I love the fact that when you build your cards, you're making yourself stronger and your enemy stronger. And that's good, or that feels great because it's like this ramp up. You're trying to like balance out how you're improving yourself, how you're upgrading yourself. And I think overall, this is a great game. And I'm really looking forward to the Dungeon Crawler Carl version of this that's going to be coming out. My friend Bear made me read the entire Dungeon Crawler Carl series, so I've read all 7 books, or listened to all 7 books, I should say, and I'm pretty stoked about the Unstoppable Dungeon Crawler Carl series coming up. Continuing on this, Proving Grounds. I don't know if I talked about this, but I will say that Proving Grounds is one that I got just to finish out the Solo Hero series. Unstoppable, for those who don't know, Renegade Games has what's called the Solo Hero series, and the Solo Hero series, right there, down at the bottom. The Solo Hero series is essentially just a bunch of board games that are meant to be played solo, and they're like, you know, just Renegade Games design. But I did not like the things I saw for Proving Grounds. I tried to learn how to play it, and I was like, this whole dice mitigation thing feels weird, so I didn't really play it too much, but I got it for $20, so I feel good about that, I suppose. And it's going to be there to finish out the series, so I'll probably never get rid of it. And I think getting towards the end here, 2 games to call out here. One would be Witchcraft. Witchcraft is a game that I'm looking forward to learning it. I'm looking forward to getting to know it and play it. I do not have any high hopes for it, for me personally, because I played Resist, and I was not a huge fan of Resist. It felt a little bit too like random for me, probably because I only gave it like maybe 1.5 playthrough attempts, I should say, because the first time I just scrapped it and started over. The second time I did a full playthrough, but I didn't do too well. But with that said, I think Witchcraft was, people were saying Witchcraft is like a better version of Resist, so I'm looking forward to giving it a shot, seeing if it maybe will wow me, do some things that maybe Resist couldn't do. But I want to call that one out, and the last one I want to call out will be Zango, or Zangu. Zangu is a game that, funny story, I bought this game at the beginning of the year, clearly. You can see right there, my acquisition date is January 9th, beginning of the year in 2025. And I set it up because I was like, I'm going to learn this game. People were saying that this game is very boring, dry, Euro style game. I was like, that's fine. I enjoy these games because I want to play solo. And it has a solo mode. So I set it up, I looked at it, I looked at the rules, and then I put it back away because I was like, this looks boring. So I'm going to try to push myself to play this one this year so I can kind of give a fair review, give a fair shake. Maybe I'll try to pull Bear in so we can do a playthrough on his stream or something. But yeah, that's going to be the last one here on the list to talk about and call out. All right. So that is going to be it for this whole entire listing. The main takeaways for all this is that, yes, I have a number of board games, and I'm going to, for 2026, I want to try to be a lot more intentional about actually sitting down and playing the games that I purchase. You can see here on this list, if I go and filter this by plays, oh, no, that's just telling me random, hold on. If I do this by plays, you'll see that I have over half of this list has been played. And I think there's a way to get the stat to show somewhere else. I've done a playthrough of Tanglewoods. Tanglewoods Red. I don't know why that's not on the list. But anyway, but what I'm trying to point out is that I've done not great, or I have not done great at doing playthroughs of these games. Tanglewoods Red, I've done a playthrough of. Barbecues, I've done some playthroughs of. And Agent Avenue, I don't think a playthrough's logged here, but I've done a playthrough of that one. But even if I remove those 3 from this whole listing, there's still quite a number of games down here that have not been played. And that's not great. You know, I want to be better at sitting down and playing my games. I want to be more intentional about sitting down and playing my games and having fun and enjoying the experience, especially since a lot of my games are tailored towards me playing solo. There's almost no excuse for me not to sit down and find some time to play some games, especially solo, for the channel or for anything else, for myself, for whatever. So that's kind of how all that's going to go. So my call, my commitment, I should say, is that for 2026, I'm going to be a lot more intentional of taking the games that I've acquired for that year and actually playing them. And then going back into, oh, here's my collection of 880 games. That's not true. There's 880 games on this list, but I have a number of games, is what I'm trying to say. But if I try to go here and, there we go, advance and change this to this year, you'll see that for this year already, I've acquired a number of games, and this will be definitely talked about if I do a 2026 year in review, but I've already acquired a number of games this year. And of these games so far, I've done a playthrough of Fromage, and well, I haven't posted a video of it, but I've done a playthrough of Fromage, and I know how to play Fromage and Formaggio. I'm going to get ready, the Battlecon Devastation of Endines and War of Endines, those two are technically just supplements to my Devastation of Endines. I don't think I'll do a playthrough of that one. I don't think that's Bear's kind of game. Maybe I'll try to convince Bear to play it with me. We'll see. But Heroes Crossing is the other one that's kind of on the list, on the radar for me to sit down and play. And then Adamastor, I just got that one this year. If I go to acquisition dates, you'll see that all these, like, I got it looks extensive, but these are just mini expansions for this game. That's a small box game, so this is like not that much. But I got 5 of these games yesterday, according to this list. I got these 4 games here on the 19th, January 19th, and I got these games here just kind of a day after each other. So long story short, what I'm trying to say is that for this year, I'm going to be a lot more intentional trying to play my games here. And I want to try to get playthroughs of every single one of these. I want to try to get reviews of every single one of these. I want to try to get these posted on YouTube so people can see them and hear my experience about them. And I also just want to just play more games. Because, you know, I spend a lot of money on board games. I spend a lot of money on equipment to live stream or record. Might as well just go ahead and sit down and actually play the games, get the playthroughs out there, enjoy the experience, connect with the community out there, just kind of be a part of this whole ecosystem of playing board games, this whole board game ecosystem. So that is my overall goal, my overall aim, and I thought it was very interesting to do the year in review. Like I said, other people are doing it. And also, shout out to Legends DM. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but I'll mention it now. Legends DM was on my Twitch chat when I was doing some videos or working on some stuff, and he mentioned, hey, you should, you know, he was talking about his 2025 list. I was like, oh, let me do my 2025 list. So if you want to check him out, he's on twitch.tv/legendsdm. That's going to be LEGENDS-DM. And yeah, you can check him out there. I think he does a lot of his videos where he's walking outside, doing like a nice little walk in a park, talking about board game stuff. Very enjoyable stuff. So yeah, go check him out. All right. But outside of that, outside of advertising for that, oh, also check out Bear. Bear's twitch.tv/FNG you'll see me there on his channel a lot of times. That's a FNG Raleigh NC, like Raleigh, North Carolina. That's where we are. But yeah, check him out as well. And that's it. So thank you all very much for watching. Hope this video was useful. Hope this was enjoyable. Hope this is informative for those who are looking to, like, hey, CulBlu, what'd you do last year? And what'd you think about it? There's what I did last year. There's what I thought about it. Yeah, I guess I'll just see y'all whenever.